Hej och varmt välkomna till Filmhuset och Cinemateket. Jag heter Lova Hagefors och är programchef här. Och vi är såklart otroligt glada över att Claudia Cardinale kommer hit ikväll och att vi får visa så många av hennes filmer. Och om ni inte har hittat dem så ta gärna vårt program här i foajén. Vi visar 8 av hennes filmer, både äldre och nya. Som till exempel den fantastiska Leoparden. Som inte har sett den eller sett den på stor duk, gör det. Och vi kommer ju ikväll här efter en halvtimmes paus, klockan 6, visa också en av hennes allra senaste filmer som hade premiär i höstas på Venedigs filmfestival, Give On The Shadow, av den snart 104-åriga regissören Oliveira. Nu sa jag för- och efternamn baklänges. Men så den rekommenderar jag er att stanna kvar på. Men det är klockan 6. And now I'll switch to English. I would want everybody to give a very, very welcome to Jannik Åhlund and of course Claudia Cardinale.
In a second. This is yours.
Thanks.
And that was mine. So, you are a very brave woman, Claudia, coming to the cold north at this time of the year.
Especially because I'm born in Africa.
Yeah, but we know that you've been through worse. Like we said just a second ago, when you did, in the line of your work, you've been to, minus 50 degrees doing the red tent and other things.
With Kalatozov, with Sean Connery, Peter Finch, Hardy Kruger, and I was a Russian girl. Then I was supposed to be used to it.
Yeah, so we know that you can go through worse things than this. And you're also a woman who prefers the present. This is what I've read your autobiography, and then you speak about that. So let's have a look at the present. Because in a time of your professional life when most people would be content to just simply sit back and enjoy, you are a most active person indeed. And just during the last 2 years, I guess. Shall I help you?
No, it's okay.
So just during the last 2 years, you've been involved in no less than 8 films. That's pretty spectacular. Would you say that working in the film industry is any different today?
Well, I'm old and I'm still working. And it's a miracle, because usually a woman, she has to stop. The men, yes, they can continue, but not the women.
Yeah, exactly, because most female actresses on the other side of 50, usually they lament, and rightly so, the lack of interesting characters in films, but you don't seem to have that problem at all.
No.
No.
I don't call them, they call me.
Okay. That's great. And having seen your films, we all know why they call you. And like Luva just mentioned, 3 of your most recent films here, they will screen at the Cinematheque, and among them are the Fernando Trueba film, The Artist and the Model.
Yes, in Spain.
Yeah, and The String, and then Give On The Shadow, which was also mentioned, and the film we're going to see after the talk. So, and as was also mentioned, this director is, next week, I think the 7th, according to what I read, he's turning 104, Manuel de Oliveira, and I think this is, it sounds...
He's 104 years, yes.
104, it's unimaginable, and it sounds pretty spectacular, so tell us something about, what's that business as usual, or...?
He has a great energy. He's incredible. And we did the movie in only 25 days. Usually it's a month and a half. He did it in 25 days.
Amazing. And he's at it with the same energy. I mean, you haven't worked before with him, but...
No, this is the first time.
But he still has the energy, yeah.
Yes, before coming on the set, he was doing, he was in a swimming pool before arriving on the set.
Wow.
He was doing a lot of sport before.
But then again, that's an ex-rally driver we're talking about here.
Yeah, I started in the 30s.
In the 20s even, I think. In that last century.
Yeah.
We call the 20th. So, and another recent film is one called The String, which is made by a considerably younger man.
First film.
Yeah,
also.
the debutant Mehdi.
In Tunisia.
Yeah, Mehdi Ben Atia. And I've selected a clip I think we can start off pretty soon with. And in the clip we will see the loving but somehow overbearing mother, which is played with you, talking to the boyfriend of her son, and you have just come to grips with the fact that your son is gay. And I think this is a really nice scene, so om vi kan köra det klippet från The String. Happy son running into the
my
image.
son.
And as you just mentioned, this film was shot in your native Tunisia.
In Tunisia.
Among the 100 and I don't know what, 20 films you made, you only shot 2 in Tunisia where you grew up. So how was that?
2. Yes, 2. It was when I was going to school. 2 directors arrived in front of my school and they asked me to do cinema, but I didn't want to do it. Then I went away, and then they insisted. Then they talked to my father, and I was doing an Arabic girl, all with the veil, and Les Anneaux d'Or, and Goa with Omar Sharif.
So how did it feel coming back to Tunisia? You did make another film there, On était à La Goulette.
Oui, On était à La Goulette, Ferid Bougadir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another great film. So, you know, coming back and actually shooting a film in Tunisia where it all started, how did that grab you?
Well, it was very funny because there was no journalist, because they say that homosexuality doesn't exist in Tunisia.
That was my other question, because in a country where open homosexuality can render prison, I suppose this was a rather controversial
Well,
ticket.
but there are lots of homosexuals everywhere.
Of course, but yeah. But how was it received? Do you know anything about that in its own in Tunisia?
No, because when I was living there, I've seen lots of.
Yeah. So that was nothing out of the ordinary then?
No.
Okay. So when there was already interviews published with you here, and in yesterday's leading daily, I suppose you've seen it, or someone
When
maybe...
I was smoking a cigar, yes.
Yeah, that was a really nice shot, I remember. And in the headline to this big interview with you ran, "The fiancé of Italy regrets nothing." And, well, this fiancé cliché, as maybe a lot of you know, this is something that was tagged on you very early on, so you must have heard it a million times. But if we stick to the regretting part then, when you say, like Edith Piaf, "Je ne regrette rien," professionally speaking, does that really mean absolument rien? I mean, among those 120 films, there are definitely all those highlights and classics.
134 films.
Okay, 134. Now we set that record straight. Wow. So, I mean, there are all these classics, of course, and some of them are screened here. But, I mean, among 134 titles, aren't there a couple of regrettable titles also, or?
No.
No. So much the better. It's not my opinion. I'm just asking if you felt that way.
No.
Maybe there were 1 or 2 occasions that you thought, "Why am I in this film? What am I doing here?"
Because the very important thing for me is to read the script.
Yeah.
And if I like it, then I meet the director, and then it's okay.
So you always, you know, make your decisions on basis of the scripts, or the combination of the director?
No, first is the script, and after, of course, when Visconti called me, I didn't read the script.
Well, yeah, you didn't have to wait and see. We'll see if I like him if we have a cup of coffee. Obviously. Yeah, okay, so another fine film in which you've acted quite recently too is The Artist and the Model. And I have a screen from a clip from that too. Yes.
What did you find?
What did I find? Well,
Yeah.
you will see very
Really?
shortly. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It will give you an idea if I say that what you're doing in this clip is that you explain the very mundane thing of modeling in the nude.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a very
And the actress is totally nude from the first scene to the end. The young one.
the young one. Okay.
Not me. I
Well,
never, I never did
we'll
that.
get back on that issue. Så vi kan väl titta på det där klippet från The Artist and a Model. Yeah, I think this is a great...
A great actress, a Spanish actress, very important. It was very funny because, really,
Yeah,
very funny. Because she has to speak French.
it seems like a slice of life. And incidentally, as an actress, you always, had it in your contract that you would not do any nude scenes, and yet you managed to do, quite a lot of scenes of seduction. So tell me, was this ever an issue with mostly or always or almost always male directors?
Well, I always refused because I didn't want to sell my body. No. And, but I remember once when I did a movie with Richard Brooks, The Professionals, in America. Burt Lancaster was supposed to do that. And I went to the Universal and I did like the same thing of Marlene Dietrich. Then when he took that, I wasn't naked. And then the director was very surprised. I said, no, I'm not going to be naked. I always refused to do that.
So you always managed your way around that? Yeah. And that was not an issue then, so you handle it your way.
No, I think it's more erotic to imagine.
Indeed. Yeah. So I'm thinking, if we look back just a little bit, when it all began after that initial beauty contest we read about, you were sent to the film festival in Venice, as you say, and you were practically adopted by the Italian film industry. And in spite of never having been in front of the camera and in spite of not speaking Italian, they told you nevertheless that you had everything it took to become a star. So did you, now you just said that you never wanted to sell your body, you had this integrity and you wanted to keep the mystery, but did you have ever the feeling that you sold yourself somehow to the profession?
Well, it's because I refused for a long time that I'm here. If I said yes immediately, I won't be here.
Okay, I see. Yeah. But somehow, when reading about your glorious career, I mean, it really seems as that first part of it, you were somehow in a golden cage, even your adolescence, because you were so young when it all started.
Yeah, I was young, and the funny thing is when I arrived in Venice, and I had the bikini. In France, we had already the bikini, but not in Italy. Then all the paparazzi were doing photos. I couldn't understand why. I didn't know. And then lots of producer and director, they come, you want to do cinema? I said, no. Yeah. And I went away. And when I arrived on the plane with my mother, it was written, the girl who refused to make cinema.
But you didn't in the end. Not that, well, another type of cinema anyway. So you made, or from what I gather from reading your own story, Luchino Visconti is really the person who. Luchino. I have to better my Italian. Luchino Visconti. It's a person who really, has meant the most to you in professional terms, and that was the first film you saw ever was a film by him, White Nights, and not too many years thereafter you became the luminous star of his film.
Because when I was in Venice with my mother, I've seen the film there in Venice, and it's the destiny. It's incredible. Then he asked me to do Rocco as a little part. It was in the beginning, 59. And then he asked me to do the leopard, and then Sandra, and then Gruppo di Famiglia all'interno. And of course it was, I mean, the leopard with Burt Lancaster, Alain Delon, and all the. It was a fantastic movie.
So all in all, you made 4 films together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, it was very incredible. But I was very close to him. I was always in his house, and we did lots of trips together.
He seems to have simply adored you.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was giving gifts every time I was coming to his house.
Yeah. Okay. And it's also a bit ironic that in your first collaboration, which was Rocco and his brothers, there you play a character who is really a girl mother, a very young mother with a baby. Yeah. You know, with the oldest brother, Vincenzo. Did I pronounce that right now?
Brava, sì.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so you play this role, and then in the next to last film, I think it was the Gruppo, whatever, Sandra. There you are entrusted with the role of his mother, right? Because he.
Yes, the last one. Yes, he wanted me to do. Yes, his mother. Yes, I did it.
He did like Bergman in his old age. He went, and he went back to the story of his parents. And
exactly, he was fantastic. First of all, he was so intelligent. You could speak with him about everything. He knew everything.
And your career at that, the first big chunk of your career, the first 15 years, say. It was pretty much groomed by this important Italian producer, Cristaldi.
Yes, yes. I had a contract, like an American contract, with Vides, and Franco Cristaldi was the most important producer at that period. He did fantastic movies.
Yeah, so you worked with all the great Italian directors, Fellini and Visconti among them, first and foremost. And to sum it up, I think you made roughly 50 films during, yeah.
Well, I was doing, 4 movies every year.
3 or 4 films every year.
Yeah.
So that became during some 15 years you made, that mass of films. And then when you broke away from him after 15 years, that was a personal as well as a professional decision you made?
Yeah, I want to be independent and not to have a contract like. And then it's because I met a director, Pasquale Squitieri, and I fell in love with him, and I decided to go with him.
Yeah, but that was it turned out to be a pretty dramatic decision.
Oh yes, because all the producers then. They say, no, she doesn't have to work anymore because she left the most important producer. But Franco Zeffirelli is the first one who called me, and I start again.
And was there also a moral edge to this? I'm thinking, was it anything like when Ingrid Bergman and Rossellini?
No, I never got married, and I never got married in my life. No. I had no contract with him.
Yeah. When you first worked, let's say, first 5 years or so, your voice was always dubbed, so someone else did the talking.
Yeah, because first of all, my first language is French. I didn't speak Italian, and also because I have this voice, a man voice for them. Then they changed the voice and they put a voice. Very like this.
No, seriously, you were told that you had a male voice?
Yes, exactly.
Really?
Yes, but when I was very young, I was a boy. I was always fighting with boys.
A tomboy?
Yeah, I was like this.
I see. So when you finally got to talk with your own voice, that was Fellini.
8.5.
And 8.5.
8.5, brava.
And I'm working away on my Italian here, and also with your own words, since a lot of what happened there was improvised, right?
Yeah, we had no script, and Federico was speaking to me, I was answering. The first question is, "Are you in love?" The first one he asked me. And after, Marcello had to repeat what Federico asked me. We had no script. It was all improvisation. And the funny thing is, I did a movie, The Leopard, which is exactly the opposite, like theater, and Federico Fellini without script, just improvisation.
But you handle it so well. So let's take a look at it at 8.5.
Ah, fantastic.
8.5, så kan vi titta på 8.5-klippet. Yeah, that is truly a wonderful.
It's very funny because in this movie, I'm doing the one who gave him inspiration and myself. Claudia Cardinale is going to do it. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I'm thinking also, your colleague, your Norwegian colleague, Liv Ullmann, she said once that when she was very young, as you were very young here, when she created the role, her character in Persona, Ingmar Bergman's classic, she really didn't have a clue as to what was going on or, you know, what it was all about, except that it was somehow about the director, about Ingmar Bergman. So I'm thinking, were your feelings toward 8.5 and your own role in, you know, somewhat similar to that?
It's incredible. In fact, usually you don't do yourself in a movie. I'm doing myself, the actress, and also the one who gave him, you know. And the fantastic thing is with Federico, the image is it's magic. When I arrive with a glass of water, I'm not walking. It's incredible the way the image is. Yes.
Yeah, it really creates a very natural flow there. So although you have a feeling that sometimes you don't know where this film is going, it perfectly, you know, comes together.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. So you mentioned that with Visconti and Fellini that they had, you know, totally opposite work methods. And I wonder, at one occasion in '63, you were working simultaneously with both of them and alternating between Visconti's The Leopard and Fellini's 8.5.
Oh,
Wasn't that a slightly schizophrenic
They were
experience?
furious, because I had very, very long hair, dark, and of course with Visconti I was dark, and Federico wants me blonde. Then I had to change the color all the time.
2 weeks blonde, 2 weeks brunette. Yeah, but would you say there was even a rivalry between these two, or?
At the beginning, yes, but after they became very, very close friends, of course. Two big directors.
And as much as you really loved Lucchino,
exactly.
Visconti, you also said somewhere, I don't recall if it was any particular film, but it could be quite a horrific experience working with him because he was so much a perfectionist. Can you?
You mean
with Visconti, you've mentioned somewhere that it could also be quite horrific to work with him because he was so, you know, perfectionist.
Yeah, but I like this. I like difficulties.
Okay.
When it's too easy, I don't like it.
Okay, so yeah, and from the, you know, this Fellini film where he's chasing after the ideal woman, or rather the idea of the ideal woman, the step seems so close to the hooker. And this, of course, is one of the most cherished cliches in film, the prostitute with the golden heart, a heart of gold. And there she is in, for example, because you play that role here and there, but in Once Upon a Time in America.
No, in the West.
In the West, sorry.
Once Upon a Time with
that's another film.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's another film. Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah.
But am I right or wrong in saying that you give her an almost, you know, feminist edge in your portrayal in Sergio Leone's film?
A feminist what?
Edge, you know, sort of interpretation. You know, this is a very forceful.
I was the only woman there. Fantastic. I was surrounded by men.
So you didn't have to worry about feminism being the only woman.
No, I was fighting. I like that.
Okay, but you're also somehow, the way I see it anyway, you're fighting for your integrity in terms of your character there. So I have one clip that somehow illustrates this.
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
The music. Wow.
Well,
fantastic. Ennio Morricone.
Everyone can recall that music and those. Yeah, and those opening 5 minutes of the film. I'm sorry you're not there, but still they are so fantastic. Anyway, ska vi titta på ett litet klipp då från Harmonika Hämnaren, som den heter på svenska.
Jason was my best friend in the movie.
Jason Robards.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. And you worked on several films.
What?
With him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did other film.
No, you worked on several films with Jason Robards.
No.
Just this one.
We start in Fitzcarraldo, but we were in the Amazonia. They had nothing to eat, and suddenly he went on a tree, and he wanted his New York steak, and then they had to come, a psychanalyst to let him, go down, and we had to finish the movie, and we went back, and then we start again with Klaus Kinski.
Yeah, that's the other film. Yeah, where you're playing the
Fitzcarraldo.
Yeah, Fitzcarraldo, and this is a legendary film, of course. I mean, a crazy adventure, even claiming the life of several people. And what you're saying is, so the whole film started with one set of actors.
Yeah.
And then, after how long time were they? Because the whole thing had to stop.
Yes.
And then a lot of the actors were just changed, and no Mick Jagger. No
yeah, Mick
Jason
Jagger was supposed to be, but then he couldn't. But it was, of course, the best adventure of my life. Very dangerous, and I love when it's very dangerous.
Really?
With the Indians and fantastic.
So do you rate your films according to the level of danger?
I love that, yes. I told you when I was young, I was always fighting with boys.
So how would that top 10 list look in terms of dangerous films? Fitzcarraldo first, and then?
Fitzcarraldo and, this was the best adventure in Amazonia. Yeah, really.
But I understand, everything you've read about it, and even the behind-the-scenes film, it was called Burden of Dreams. I mean, that's even, it's a totally mesmerizing film, and it deals, with just recording what happened there. But conditions were rather tough, really, for
very tough.
The actors, and there was
you didn't know what to eat. I mean, there was nothing. And, but of course, the director and, the film was really, for me, the best.
And yet it became a magnificent movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
And there were also, it's also legendary the way that the director Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski, the main actor, had a sort of hate-love relationship, which made them
it was very funny. At the moment, the Indians, they said to Werner, "We're going to kill him. Do you want?" I said, "No, we are doing a film," because he was so, Klaus, very difficult. Then they want to kill him.
So he didn't take them up on that offer. Well, good. There were already people dead there. So, but during the 80s, you also worked with a number of women directors, like Liliana Cavani and
Capri.
Nadine Trintignant, among others. Would you say that the perception of you as an actress was different? I mean, did you get to be less of an object of desire with female directors, or no?
No, it was the only with a woman. Yes, the only one. But one director I love very much is Mauro Bolognini. I did 4 movies with him. And one of first Pietro Germi, and so many directors. And that's fantastic.
Yeah. One of them screens here, Bella Antonio. Yeah. But on the subject of female directors, you never felt that there was any difference in the way
No.
they approached or saw
No,
you
no.
as an actress, or
No, absolutely.
No?
But if they don't call me, I'm not calling them. No.
Okay. So, have you ever feel tempted to try your hand yourself at directing? I mean, you've seen all those great directors'
No,
works.
no, no, no.
You've seen it inside out.
No, I don't want to be a director. No,
No.
I'm an actress.
Yeah, obviously. But then, had I asked you some time ago, are you going to play in the theater? You would have said the same thing. No, I'm not a theater actress. But then you became one. So how did that happen?
I refused for a long time.
And?
I was afraid. Because it's funny, I did 134 movies, but when I start, even now, it's like it's the first day. I'm always worried.
But what was your
theater.
resistance? Why were you so... What was it about theater that scared you? Or
Well,
didn't
because
interest
in cinema, if it's no good, you can do it again. In theater, no. It's this one.
So, what made you overcome your resistance then?
Well, it's in fact, it's Pasquale Squitiere, the father of my daughter, who insists that I start to do theater. I started in Paris, and then I did also with Pasquale Squitieri Pirandello, and then two of Tennessee Williams. Well, it was fantastic then, but I was always afraid.
Really? Still?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I did some counting in your filmography, and Pasquale Squitiere, as you mentioned, your partner, Pasquale Squitiere. Damn. Anyway, your partner of 30 years, he it seems like he has actually become the director with whom you have made the most...
10 movies about mafia, Camorra, very...
hardcore stuff. So how is he as a director?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Pasquale,
grazie, brava. No, he started as an actor.
Uh-huh.
He did theater, and then he became director.
But you were never acting together in a film?
No.
No.
He was the director. I was the actor.
So how is he as a director?
Oh, very, very good. Yeah. Yes, a very good director. And I did 10 movies with him.
And one was just last year. It hasn't even come out yet, or?
Father.
Yeah.
Franco Nero.
It's a mafia story.
Always mafia.
Always
mafia. Camorra.
He is hooked on mafia stories.
Always film very strong, yes.
But there are lots of good stories there, for sure. So, well, you've had, when reading your memoirs, there are a lot of male film icons that you've had at your feet, both professionally and personally speaking. And in your memoirs, you tell a very entertaining story of your meeting with one of your idols, who was Marlon Brando. Please share it with us. Tell.
Well, because for me, when I was in Tunisia, the first movie I saw, it was Brigitte Bardot, and the other one is Marlon Brando. And then for me, it was I love him. It was fantastic. And when I arrived in America, he knew where I was in the hotel, talk, and he came, and he did all, And then I didn't want, when I closed the door, I said, I'm really stupid.
But then you just broke up laughing, both of you, because you realized...
Exactly, because he said, you're Arias like me.
But did you have others, when you started out, others or other actors, I mean, male or female, that you looked up to? And
no, it's only Brigitte Bardot and Marlon Brando, the two.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
No.
The two. Brigitte Bardot, Marlon Brando.
And then, of course, you must tell also something about that, the inevitable, because the press sort of, always wrote about Bibi and Sissi,
Yeah,
Brigitte
it was,
Bardot and
the
Claudia
blonde
Cardinale.
against the brune, yes.
So of course it
Bibi,
had to
Sissi.
happen, the
Yes,
film.
all
So-
the paparazzi were there. They thought they were going to fight. And in fact...
They were waiting for a cat fight.
Exactly. But in fact, it was fantastic for me to work with her. And we stay very close, always.
And it turned out that she was a bit of a diva, that you had,
No, she was not a diva. She didn't want to do cinema.
Ah,
And she started very young.
okay. But it was almost like you helped her through that film, I get the impression. It was almost as if you helped her to get through the film, because she was very reluctant.
Well, no, it was very funny because we're supposed to fight, lots of scenes, And suddenly she said, no, I'm afraid you're going to kill me. Then a man arrived, dressed like her. And I say, Brigitte, it's ridiculous. All this, now the camera is only on me and not on you because there is a man. And then I told her, I'll tell you how you have to do. When I do that, you have to move. And finally we did it, the two of us.
Okay, so that sort of...
Fight is really the two of us.
And that made the ice melt. No cat fight.
No.
Yeah. Well, we left very quickly America. I forgot to say that this was your the Once Upon a Time in the West. It was your American debut, although it was made a lot of it in Spain.
No, all the Western where it was Spain. I did just one scene myself in America when I'm arriving with the train and the camera goes up and it's me there in America.
So it's more like Once Upon a Time in Spain. But anyhow, you did quite a bit of a number of American films in
many.
Hollywood.
Yeah, many. Yeah.
What would you say now, looking back on that era of your, it's still
Which
going
one?
on. No, but your Hollywood experiences, because you were so long based in Italy and Europe, and
yeah,
you
it
were
was incredible because usually I go around by myself. I don't have a chauffeur or bodyguard. And the police was always blocking me, say, where are you going? I'm walking. But there, the actors, they're always with bodyguard. I don't like this.
No. And when it came to the films, did you find as much satisfaction in the films you were offered in America?
Well, first of all, Paul Newman gave me his house. I was living in his house. And it was fantastic. And I worked with fantastic actors. Rock Hudson was my best friend. And, I don't know, I worked with Tony Curtis, John Wayne, Rita Hayworth, I don't know, many.
So you got a lot of friends in the colleagues that you
Absolutely,
played. Yeah.
yes.
And what about the films? Did you...
Which one? I don't know.
Well, all the films that you did during your Hollywood... did you feel that there was a lot any different working in the States?
No, but for me the best is The Professional with Richard Brooks. Because...
The Professionals, yeah.
I love when it's very dangerous. And the special effect, it's me. It's not a stunt man who is doing it.
So that would be number 3 on your most dangerous film list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did terrible things.
We could also add some of the Pink Panther films, because I see you're skiing there, and I guess you didn't ski too much in your childhood.
I don't know how to do it, no.
No.
But very funny, because when I was doing the scene, all the crew was, holding me. Jack, I was going. Stop, I was falling.
Okay. So it didn't take more than one take then to do that.
Well, it's funny because when I was myself, I couldn't go. But when it was the actress, I was going. It's not the same. It's the other one.
No. So maybe we should also let the audience come in here, and if you have some questions.
It's difficult to see with all the lights here.
Yeah, but if we... yeah, you in red.
Ah.
You
Vänta, ska vi ta mikrofonen så hörs det bättre? So everybody can hear.
Okay, I have 2 questions. You said that actually when it was a kind of improvisation, 8.5.
Yes.
What did you answer when the question was put to you? Were you in love?
I was saying, what do you want to know?
Because that was the first scene.
Yes,
apparently.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. And the second, what made you admire Brigitte Bardot? What's so special about her, and what's so special about Marlon Brando?
Well, Brigitte Bardot was very beautiful.
And so are you.
She started very young,
Yeah.
and she was singing, dancing, she was doing everything. And for me, she was the best.
Okay. And Marlon Brando?
Yeah, I saw the film Sur les quais of, comment on dit en...
At the waterfront.
Yes. What? Yeah. For me, it's the first movie I saw Brando, and I thought he was fantastic. The way, the eyes, the way he was looking, and fantastic.
Did you meet him again after that encounter?
Unfortunately, not.
And Brigitte Bardot was like a couple of, or 3-4 years older than you, so you...
No, more than that.
More than that, yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw the first movie, I was in Tunisia. I was very young. No, I think she has 6. I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't care
but
about
old
age.
enough so that you could, have her as a model or someone that was already famous before you started in the business. Yeah. She was already, ahead of you, so you would have...
Yeah, I wasn't doing cinema. I was in Tunisia at that time.
Yeah. Okay.
My last question is, you said that you started making movies reluctantly, and you said that you started acting at the theater reluctantly. Do you always do things reluctantly? Is that why they turn out well?
Yeah, that you
Si vous voulez, je pouvais vous poser la question en français.
Oui, qu'est-ce que vous avez dit? J'ai pas très bien compris.
Non, c'est ce que j'ai compris. Vous avez dit que vous avez eu du mal à jouer l'actrice et vous avez eu du mal à jouer, disons, sur la scène.
Oui.
Alors, si on a du mal à jouer, c'est comme ça qu'on devient très bien ou...
Well, like I said before, when it's difficult.
Difficult and dangerous.
I like this. And of course, I said that I refused for a long time to do cinema. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do it. But it was very good for me because as I didn't speak very much, then I was obliged to speak in front of the camera. And also the thing important is doing cinema, you can live many lives, not only one.
Merci.
And you change all the time.
Yeah, merci.
Någon fler? Nils Petter?
Tell me, how was acting with Marcello Mastroianni?
The Latin lover.
Latin lover.
Well, I start with him, the first movie, Monicelli. Then Bell'Antonio. But the funny thing is, in Bell'Antonio, he was impuissant.
He had a problem performing sexually.
Yeah, and then in Sicily, they were furious. They say, a Sicilian who cannot do love, it's impossible. But, well, he was fantastic. The only problem is that he was in love with me, and I never look at him.
And I remember you wrote also that the director became very frustrated and said, "But give him a smile at least."
Yes, Mauro Bolognini said, "Come on, Claudia, sometimes look at him and smile."
But then you collaborated on several films with Mastroianni. Yes. So you had
8.5, also Liliana Cavani, La Pelle, and well, I don't know, but yeah. Yes. Oh, he was a fantastic actor. But he was used that women were in love with him. And because I refused, He insists for years.
So he didn't give up after the first film?
Yeah, hey, continue.
Continue. I see.
But I resist. I didn't.
Always. But now that you mentioned this film, Bella Antonio, Den vackra Antonio, som också visas i serien.
Bella Antonio.
Yes, which is a fantastic film, I think. And it was scripted by Pasolini.
Absolutely.
You had noticed him a bit earlier on. Can you say something about that?
It's the first one who wrote something about me, Pier Paolo Pasolini.
As a critic?
Yes, about the eyes, about the way I was looking. It's incredible.
Yeah. So it was like he had devoted almost an entire review of just your
about
eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah,
yes.
He forgot about the rest. It was all about your eyes. Yeah. But this is a really great film, I think. Bella Antonio. Flera frågor? Där, 2... Vänta tills du får micken.
I've read that you speak at least 4 languages, but which language is your mother tongue?
It's French.
It's French.
Because I'm born in Tunisia, it was a French
and how long did you live in Tunisia?
Well, many generations. Because...
how long did you live in Tunisia?
Well, till I was 17, 18. 17, yes.
So
I live in Tunisia.
You could have had Arab as a mother tongue.
Yeah, shوية. Speak.
You speak Arabic too?
شوية. My father was speaking very good Arabic.
Okay.
But something I can say in Arabic, yes, of course.
Thank you.
Och bakom dig, just. Ja.
Yes, I'm wondering, was there any particular actor that you looked...
Behind.
Here, I'm here.
Oh, okay, I don't see.
Was there any particular actor that you have worked with that you looked forward to working with that made you think, oh, I can't believe I'm about to meet this actor and star in a film with him? Which fellow actor stood out the most, do you think?
Acteur que vous avez aimé
Quoi?
Work with together again?
Well, it's not me. I mean, it's the director who decides. Well, I work with marvelous actors like Burt Lancaster, Alain Delon. Well, Alain Delon in The Leopard was incredible. Jean-Paul Belmondo, I did many films with him. But it's not the actors who decide to work with someone, it's the director.
But you mentioned, I think you mentioned a film that was your sort of film fetish. Do you remember which one that was? And I think it was because of the actor in it.
Film fetish.
Yeah, I think it was. Now I don't remember myself. 1960 maybe, Le Vacche.
Quale? La Viaccia?
Yeah, Le Vacche.
Non la vacca. Non la vacca.
Okay, well, you understand which one I mean.
La Viaccia. Yeah, Mauro Bolognini.
The Love Makers, okay.
Yeah. La Viaccia is fantastic. It's a film that we did in Florence and, with Jean-Paul Belmondo. And for me, it's one of the films that I like.
So he was, in a sense, I think he was the answer to the young man's question, because he was someone that you did, there was a bonus. You had so much fun together, I think.
With Jean-Paul?
Yeah, so it was fun.
Crazy, the two of us, yes. We're doing terrible things during the shooting, yes.
Yeah. Was it dangerous and difficult?
I love that. When we did a movie in the south of France, it was incredible. I was smiling to the director of the hotel, and he was putting the beds and everything on the street. Jean-Paul. We just do things, we organize things, terrible things in the hotel.
The poor hotel director, like a rock star. Och så var du ute på kanten. Ja, just det.
Yeah, hello. What was the special experience you had shooting Rucco? I mean, something very special.
Rocco?
Rucco, yes.
Well, It was incredible because I remember one thing. It was a big fight because it was the box. And suddenly, Lucchino took the megaphone and he said, "Don't kill me, Claudia." And then I realized that he noticed me. And then he asked me for the leopard.
He asked you for the?
The leopard, the gattopardo.
Ja. Vet du, det är en där och sen tar vi dig. När han ändå står där med micken.
Hello, it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And I wonder, you look at the movies, your old movies now. We talk about Cristaldi, Fellini, the old times. What do you feel, and what do you miss from that time?
No, I'm not nostalgic.
And you are not?
I live today.
It's my
not
fault.
yesterday.
It's my fault. Mea culpa.
All right. So you don't feel anything when you look at the movies?
No, the only thing is, like last time in Festival of Cannes with Alain Delon, we saw the Il Gattopardo, and Alain was crying because he said, "We are the only alive, they're all dead." Yeah. And sometimes it's terrible to see because sometimes people are not here anymore.
Yeah. And one more question: how was it to play or act with Omar Sharif? Didn't you get in love?
I never get in love with when I'm working. My life is something, my work is another thing.
Yeah, but you were so young and he was so handsome. So. Right, thank you.
Confess.
But I did also the film with him. I did Meyrig also. And Rue Paradis also with him. And it's funny thing is that we met after 30 years. With the figure. Goa, it was when I was in Tunisia. I was 15 years old. And then I did a film with Omar Sharif.
He's not dead, so. He's still alive, so.
Of course, he's alive.
Yes. But you resisted him as well, as many others.
No, I didn't resist. I mean, he didn't try. But I always resist anyway.
I think everyone takes it for granted that every male actor that you play with is trying. You had a question here. Vänta, du får micken.
Thank you very much. I admire your sensation of the movement in a movie when you're dancing in a scene. It's a fantastic dance you do with the arms, and I wonder if you got inspiration from your culture, your roots, and the feeling of
the valser
whole scene.
of the leopard.
Yeah, it was very beautiful dance. Yes.
The dance. I love dancing.
Yes.
But I prefer the twist. The valser.
Thank you.
In which film did you twist? That must have been The Pink Panther.
I don't know. I've been dancing also in Cartouche with Jean-Paul Belmondo, and many times I dance. But
yeah. You learn a lot of things too in your trade. To ride, horse riding, skiing,
yeah,
and a lot of things. Du blonda där och sen du. Ja.
Tack så mycket. Do you watch a lot of contemporary movies? And do you have a favorite movie, like from the last 20 years?
Wow, I don't know. Well.
Or do you have a contemporary director that you would like to work with?
No, if he didn't call me. No, but all the last movie, it's first movie of young director. Because now it's very difficult, to find money to do cinema. Then I'm working especially with the director of first movie. Many, yeah.
But do you go to the cinema a lot? Like, do you see?
Not very much, because after they ask me autograph or everyone.
So you wouldn't pick up the phone and call a director and say, "I would really like to make a film."
No, never.
Never. No. Okay.
Grazie.
I'm adding another question before you have yours. Also, very early on, you were at the Centro Sperimentale. Was that correct?
Centro Sperimentale.
Centro Sperimentale. And I mean, have you ever had requests like from a school or academic surrounding to come and talk to the young people who are?
Yes, I did many times. But the funny thing is, when I arrived at the Centro Sperimentale, and I had supposed, you have, they asked you things to do, I didn't do anything. I was like this.
Yeah?
I didn't speak. Then they start to talk, all the prof, and they say, who is she, this one? She's an Arabic. She's Sarah. What is she doing? I was furious. I did that, and I went away. And I've been promossa.
Yeah.
Because of the temperament. Because I was very strong, and they say, okay, you can come to Centro Sperimentale.
Okay.
But I didn't do anything.
Strange.
Very strange.
Yeah. And did you ever, by the way, meet Ingrid Thulin? She lived in Italy for a long time.
Yeah, when she was with Rossellini, yes.
Yeah.
No, Thulin.
No, Ingrid Thulin.
Ah, pardon, j'ai cru Ingrid Bergman.
No, Ingrid, who also worked for Visconti in The Damned.
Ah, si,
and
si.
she lived in outside of Rome.
Yeah, I don't know if I met. No, I don't think so.
Ah, okay, but
no.
I was just thinking
Sorry.
of because she was she had a contact with the students there, working with acting students, and found that very stimulating. A better experience, obviously, than yours. Du hade en fråga.
Buongiorno, sono un grande ammiratore di lei.
Finally, someone who speaks proper Italian.
Sì, grazie. Yes, I just wonder about the film we're going to see today, Gabo e l'Ombre. And I wonder if you have anything to say about that one. It's with Jean Moreau. And another thing, I saw that you are vegetarian. Is that correct? And if you've been a vegetarian for a long time,
vegetarian?
Are you?
No, I'm not vegetarian, but I eat very, very little, like a bird. Yes.
Then
I don't eat from when I was very young. I always eat very, very, very little. I don't know why. It's a habit.
Then it's not correct. Okay.
But the other part of the question then about the film tonight, I don't know if you're going to introduce it. No, but so, could you maybe say something about it?
Well, we start to before we say that he's fantastic, Manuel, because can you imagine a director 104 years old with the energy in December? Yes.
But it's a very intimate drama, like a chamber play almost, and the characters that you and Jean
Moreau, but
plays,
it's
what characters are you?
Well, I'm terrible. But well, for me it was fantastic to work with him, but it happened just a year before. I was at the Film Festival of Venice, and I was with Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, and lots of actors, and he was on. They give him a prize, and he said, the actress I like is Claudia. I was very surprised. Then I sent him a little note to thank him. And then he asked me for the movie.
Then he called you.
Yeah.
Okay. What do
I want to smoke a cigarette.
Just give it 5 more minutes.
It's not allowed here, honey.
Is this your first visit to Stockholm?
No, I think I came a long time ago when we presented the film Circus World with Rita Hayworth, John Wayne, and I don't know. I think I came also, yes, for the Nobel with Professor Montagnier when they gave him the Prix Nobel. Well, yeah, I think I came, but it's always difficult to remember when and where. Yeah.
But you were never here for any of your. I mean, you never worked here or shot a film in Sweden.
No.
And what do you think of Bergman as a director?
Ingmar Bergman?
Fantastic. A great director. I mean, you cannot... I mean, it's impossible to forget him. It's great.
But he never called.
But no, he never called.
He didn't. He didn't work with many.
And I didn't call him because he didn't call me.
Damn. Yeah, he didn't make so many foreign films. A few in Germany. But
I don't speak German.
But you do.
No.
Or were you dubbed in Fitzcarraldo too? There is some German spoken there.
Yeah, of course. It's not me. I speak French, Italian, English, and Spanish.
I just took it for granted that it was you.
No, I don't speak
all the languages.
No, I don't speak German. Sorry.
Okay. Flera? Ta du som sitter där. Kommer en mikrofon där alldeles strax.
Yes, if you weren't an actress, what would you be? What were your dreams?
I want to be. I decided when I was young, I want to explore the world. I want to go around everywhere, from Africa to Australia, everywhere. And finally, I did it because I've been working everywhere. But this was my dream.
Another question from my wife, who is Russian. You don't speak Russian, and she doesn't speak English.
I'm sorry. I did a movie when I was a Russian girl with Kalatozov.
She was fascinated by your role in the Red Tent.
Yeah, fantastic.
And have you any comments on that? Because it was a very...
Well, for me it was fantastic because I was a Russian girl. It was 40 degrees below zero. I'm born in Africa, you can imagine the difference. But the funny thing is, the scene with the actor I was in love in the film, we were doing like this down the mountain. And when we arrived down, he has to go to the hospital and not me.
But you were also considering becoming a teacher when you were younger, right?
But the funny thing is I want to be a teacher in the desert. Very funny.
Okej, och sen så var det... Vem var det mer som ville fråga här? Nej? Någon liten... Jag tappade bort. Ja, där. Vänta, där kommer en mikrofon här.
You didn't do so many films with Antonio. Why not?
Come?
Antonioni, you didn't do so many films with him.
Antonioni. Yeah.
Antonioni.
Yeah.
Well, I knew him very well. I was very often in his house in Rome. Well, I don't know. Monica Vitti was working with him. And I was very good friend of Monica Vitti. We did a movie together. But I never worked with him. Sorry.
Okay. But you're wonderful as an actress. I will never forget you.
What?
You were... Sorry, I didn't hear.
You're just a wonderful actress.
Oh, thank you.
Unforgettable.
Grazie.
So I can see that you are watching, for a moment when you can smoke. This is the plight of all smokers. But
and this, I have to say something.
Yeah.
It's Visconti. When I did Sandra, he wants me to smoke. I start and I never stop.
So he wasn't all good influence.
He was always smoking.
Yeah. Well, even the sun has its spots. So I thank you so much, Claudia, for sharing your views and memories and everything with us here tonight. It has been extremely interesting. And thank you all for coming, and hope you'll enjoy the screening.